guys doing? Today I'm eating stir-fried rice noodle with bok choy and bean sprouts but with shrimp paste sauce and a little bit of dried chili. It's yum. And also with butter and garlic. Like you roast the garlic in butter first. I swear my voice is always like this when I try to record, but it's usually fine. For some reason it's always like that. I tried to eat it directly from the pan. It was too hot. Are you guys still watching Cheese in the Trap? It's episode 6 now, and I feel like it it makes me feel really differently from the beginning episode. It feels really, I feel like I'm relating to Yu Jong now much more than I did before. Now I feel like, oh my god, out of all the characters in the series, I actually relate to him the most. I feel like, okay, I can see why he would act that way. I feel like, you know, he expects people to trust him, and yet the people that are around him feel suspicious because people are not used to with, you know, having a nice person and suddenly flipped to the other side, which they can be really angry and be very revengeful. But people can't be nice all the time. I mean, why? So I feel like, I think he's right. Like, people can't be nice all the time. People can't smile all the time. And he's not originally a smiley person anyway. I feel like he was trained to be a nice person, but his original personality isn't like that. I'm not saying he's bad at all. I feel like he's just, I don't know, I'm not even sympathizing with him anymore. I'm empathizing with him. So I don't know if that's the problem or not. Because if he turns out to be a sociopath, which I definitely don't think he is, then it'll be a big problem to support him, don't you think? But what I really love so far is the fact that Kang Yoon's acting right now is really good. I'm actually really into his performance as Baek In Ho. Baek In Ho, I like it. And it has nothing to do with the fact that he's really good looking. I feel like his good looks doesn't really play a part, except for the fact that it looks visually good with his sister, because it looks like they are this good looking sibling. This is really good. Like, I can relate when Yu Jong deleted all her messages. I felt like, oh, it's over. You know, he's gonna dump me. Every time I reveal my true self, every time I say the truth to someone, they always dump me. And I feel like, oh, what's the purpose of, you know, opening yourself up if you're always going to be shut down? But the fact that, you know, Hong Sol is reaching out to him is very kind and understanding. I think is what makes him, you know, wants to expose himself more to her. I feel like I think that's the nitty gritty of this drama. That is that, you know, it's drawing the best out of each other and just trying to get each other out of, you know, this shy shell or this icy cold shell or this close down of your mind or your feelings and what your opinions are between each other. And I think that's what I really like about, you know, Sol and Yu Young's relationship. It's not like, oh, I like you too, and you know, and you just go on to this place where you basically lovey-dovey. Kang Joon's acting in that rain when he was like staring at the TV looking at his old teacher, it's really good. It's like I can feel his pain. I think this is what I really want from him. I know he doesn't belong to me, or he doesn't belong to anyone, but you know, as a consumer of Korean drama, acting is really important, and I think he's showing that. Like, I can't see any trace of him from Roommate. Like, it's such a different character. I think that's good. This turned out really good. I used to not be able to cook this kind of stuff because it takes patience for it to simmer and for the sauce to settle in. But now I just put the timer on and forget about it, and then when the timer goes beep beep beep, I'm like, okay, time to pick it up. I think that's always the best way to cook, to let it, for me anyway, to have it and like to be scientific, you know, it's like put a timer on and then leave it and then make it very methodical. Some people are very natural when it comes to cooking. They just, you know, cook this and that and put that and then simmer this, and it's very organic, but I don't feel it works for me. It's been really hot in Sydney, like humid hot. Not that pleasant type of hot where you can go to the beach and enjoy yourself. This is a type of hot that you just want to punch someone sometimes. Violence is a no-no, but it feels like that. Like you sweat from head to toe, and it's not even 9 a.m. type kind of heat. The best thing with Back in Ho is the last scene where Hong Sol was basically giving him this really sad look. That was a really, really good scene. I really enjoyed that scene. Like, I don't want to lose my friend. I'm really sad that you're gone. Why are you going? Oh, that was a really good scene. I hope he doesn't go away though. I hope he doesn't go into hiding because, you know, the story would stall, wouldn't it? When they're eating pancakes, I really want them. The best scene in episode 6 is of course when Hong Sol got really, really drunk and started swiping at each other's, the boys' heads. And like, this one is getting really angry easily and that one is getting always asking me for food every time he sees me. Oh, that was good. And I like to see, I like the fact that she's jealous with Baek In Ha a little bit. I find that, she is really interested in, Yu Yong. It's not because he sort of made her date him. I think that's a good thing. Oh, this is so good. Next time I'm going to add like the bean sprout at the end, because I feel like if it's cooked for too long, it disappears into the dish. There's no crunchiness anymore. I want to know what happened between them when they were kids or when they were in high school. I bet it's another misunderstanding. I bet like Yu Jong didn't cause him to, shatter his hand by using other people. I bet he's probably the one who called help so that, the fight would be stopped, and the ones that called the ambulance of sort. Maybe he got really hurt with the fact that, Baek In Ho wouldn't believe him that he didn't do that. That's why he shuts down, and that's why like he's really trying to get them off his family's financial assistance. That's my feelings anyway. But feelings can be wrong, like I did with Jongwon in Reply 98 or Answer Me 1988. I'm still bitter about that. When Baek In Ho basically told Seoul about the women Yu Jong dated in the past, he just starts sculling those shots. Oh. The drinking scene is really good. It's funny. Shrimp paste is really salty. So sometimes you can overdo it by putting a lot of it in one dish. But this time around, I did it right. So good. And what I realized, you also have to put a little bit of vinegar, so it has that tangy. It has that tangy taste to it. I didn't realize that, but I did put a little bit of vinegar in this, and it tastes good. I can't wait for episode 7. From the preview, I think we are seeing the aftermath of them dating in public, you know, within their friends and their social circle. Up until now, it's still private, sort of. But I think that's really good to see, like, what circumstances will come about when you date a very popular guy when you yourself isn't, and you don't have that, you know, desire to be popular. Like, it's a very specific to Hong Sol personality, so I really like how they're exploring that. I wish Yu Jong and Baek In Ho talks about what really happened back in high school. I like how 3 boys basically taking care of this one girl drunk. It's adorable. I think one thing I don't agree with Korean culture is this violence culture against your family members. It's like, it's very different in this particular dramas. It's, you know, Jun, the brother, Hong Sol's brother, is like, it's normal to being bitten by his dad, and it's not a big deal. It's not an abuse sort of thing. But when, you know, Baek In Ha and Baek In Ho were children and they were bitten by their aunt, that's abuse. So I feel like, how can you differentiate between two? I mean, aren't they both abuse? Physical abuse? Aren't they both violence? But I don't know. maybe it's much more acceptable in Asian culture that to be bitten when you were kids, because that's the way they were brought up when they were kids, and I think it's the only way they knew how. Our parents' generations. But the question is that the way it always has to be? It is really good. MUKBANG is really hit in this drama. I like the way they play the gay characters as well. It's like they're not your typical feminine, very feminine type of gays. They're just people, which is basically how you would see them in society. They're just people. I like how she was supposed to be really mad at Yoo-jung, and then she got drunk, and now the power dynamic shifted, and Yoo-jung is basically, yeah, you shouldn't be drinking. I think the black siblings characters work because the paradox between their visual look and the way they conduct themselves. Like, they're really good looking, so you expect them to be gracious and to be elegant and to conduct themselves in a manner that is very socially acceptable for good looking people. But they're so rude, they're just so obnoxious, they're just the opposite of what good looking people should be behaving like. So I think that's why the characters are very, very adorable, and also the fact that they work. Because the paradox. They both are very extroverts, very transparent, while Yoo-jung and Hong-sol are very introverts and very controlling of their feelings and their thoughts. They don't just share it with anyone, and they, it takes a bit of nudging and prodding and sometimes threats to their loved ones before they actually come forward and step up. You know your family when you don't even say hello or goodbye. You just go straight to the point. What? In her characters, it's basically, I don't have money. Isn't it in her call? also noticed that Yu Jong and Hong Sol have very similar fashion taste. I mean, I think the wardrobe department basically put them into a very coupley matching outfits. But let's pretend we don't know that. And let's pretend that it's actually them as individuals, character, deciding what they want to wear. They wear very similar outfits and they look like a couple. I think that's important because if you put them side by side, like if you put Hong Sol side by side to Baek In Ho, visually they don't match, although they get along very well. I'm sticking to my opinion about Yu Jong's reason why he liked her. It's because I think for the first time in his life, he has this one person that knows who he is, that already made a judgment about who he is, that knows that he's not nice all the time, but still took care of him anyway, still decent towards him. You know, she didn't desert him straight away. And in this particular episode, it was proven the way she took care of him, the fact that she knew, you know, what his other side is like, and I think that's why he pursued her very, very aggressively. I enjoy the pace of the drama as well. Like they're dialing up the problems in a very good pacing. Like now in episode 6, the stalker character came out. After they're in a good place, you know, it's like you're building this particular step-by-step relationship stairs. Like you climb, then you have a rest period that's good basically, and then you climb again where, you know, a problem came up. And that's how you build relationship, right? Slowly, steadily, you come to a good place and then a problem comes up and then you resolve that and then you go into a good place again and then problem comes up. So I like the way it's being processed. hot was Baek In-ho when he punched the wall. I know violence wasn't the answer, as I already said before, but how hot was he? His protective instinct is really attractive, Baek In-ho. The stalker character is very, very real in terms of you are bound to meet one of these people in your life. And in college, it's probably very likely because there's a huge amount of people in one place. And they come from all over the world. If you go to international university, anyway. I did a paper on stalker one semester, and I found out that most stalkers are not strangers. They basically, in most cases, are ex-spouses that are having difficulty with a breakup. So in most cases, we are safe. But there is that very tiny people, a percentage of people who are very delusional, who thinks that you are in love with them and you are in a relationship with them. Those people, don't entertain them, just go straight to security, write everything down, put it, keep a journal basically, so that you have proof, so that you can use that if it's necessary. Because you don't want to put yourself into danger. But the difficult part is, you really want to think the best out of people. And sometimes people are just too delusional for you to save them. Well, not save them, but to give them benefit of the doubt. I hope In-ho gets to play piano again. That'd be really good. How adorable is he when all the children basically gathered around him. Some dramas, it seems like we're not very hardworking. Like either they're studying or working, and it seems like it's a 24-hour lifestyle where you work and you study. It's like there's no other life outside of it. to get more insight about Yoo Jong's character from his point of view, what his thoughts are, because it doesn't say much. So I want it to be seen like the way we perceive Hong Sol, like what's going on in his head. I think that would clarify a lot of things. I like the way Yoo Jong doesn't press for things to speed up once they're in a relationship. Like he was really pushy when it comes to, oh, do you want to eat? Do you want to eat? Do you want to eat in the beginning when he was pursuing her? But as soon as they're in a relationship, he's pretty good at maintaining his distance. I don't know if it's good or not, because I don't think you're supposed to maintain your distance once you're in a relationship, but I like the fact that he's not in a hurry to go anywhere or make any physical progress with Hong Sol. It's just like taking it slow, steady, getting to know each other. This is really good. Are you guys watching One More Happy Ending? It's a new Jung Nara's drama. How good was that? Like the cameos by this couple from We Got Married. Forgot his name and her name. And oh, there's Sandara's cameo. 21. I wonder when 21's gonna come back. But I think I like CL the most, or in a way that I'm okay, because CL is around these days, right? Like she just made a comeback as a solo artist. I like how Yoo Jong doesn't criticize the way Hong Sol's apartment is like. At least he hasn't tried to move her out of there and like put her in this good apartment. I think that's crossing the line. He just sits there, absorbing everything. So cute. And the way he basically whispered in her ear, he said, "Hey, I don't need to watch the TV." It's like, how come you be so fucking calm in that situation? Maybe he's not calm, he's just really good at controlling his action, while inside he's freaking out. I think he's like that. 잘 먹겠습니다.